Soon after our elder son Zen was born, I realized I was loving being a hands-on mom, but I slowly wanted to get back to work too. So I racked my brains to think of what I could do that would combine being with our kids and our family and working. That's when it struck me that I'd seen cooking shows, carpentry shows, but never an honest, maybe humorous, maybe helpful show about bringing up babies. And so I decided to start writing a blog diary as a new mom. I found that this diary became relatable to others. So we turned the diary into a multi-platform show, and hence was born the Tara Sharma Show. It's now a platform to discuss topical family, parenting, women's and children's issues with a view to helping bring about positive change.
On the show today, we meet the wonderful Riteish Deshmukh, who talks about his and his wife Genelia's experience of becoming parents for the second time.
I was changing Rian's diaper and he started peeing. Now I'm catching it. I'm trying to figure out what do I do with this because it's going right on the floor.
A powwow with 3 interesting mums who talk about their unique experiences of bringing up their children.
First 2 years with twins is always, a little harder, but after that, it's double fun.
I always get nostalgic when I look back at the footage of when our kids were very little. Thanks to my family and an excellent team of doctors, we're all happy and healthy.
Just like there is growth and development of a child, there is growth and development of a parent.
And a wonderful surprise awaits a doting, full-time working mom of 2, courtesy Pepperfry.
The day couldn't be better than this. This is outstanding, beautiful.
We met a wonderful superstar dad who's not just a superstar in his career, but also a super-duper dad too. Today we have with us a wonderful actor who's a great son, a great brother, a great husband to his gorgeous wife, Genelia, a fantastic dad to his 2 gorgeous kids. We have the amazing Riteish Deshmukh.
Yay! Thank you, Tara.
Okay, so Ritz and Jeans, as I've been calling you, I think, since we first met, which is a long time ago when we were doing Masti all
13
together.
years ago.
So I like to believe that I was kind of witness perhaps to the initial stages of the romance between you and your beautiful wife.
We were trying to hide. You saw some stuff there?
Yeah, so I remember the very good friend line that we all used at some point. It
we are married, we have 2 kids.
Yes.
And we are still good friends. One has to be really lucky to get married to their best friend.
Yeah.
Or if you're married and then eventually your partner is your best friend, because friendship is something that makes it easy to understand each other. Our friendship progressed into love and we dated for 10 years. And then we got married. It's been 4.5 years and we have 2 wonderful kids.
And I've seen you as wonderful parents. So, of course, the little ones are really little now.
Yeah.
Rian and Rahil.
Yes.
So, firstly, a huge congrats on the arrival of Rahil. So, has fatherhood changed you? Do you think?
Of course, when you get into parenthood, you just think that, oh, okay, this is how fathers are supposed. But then you realize that, the mother's connection with the child is instant and they're connected. And for 3 months, you're wondering,
what do I do?
No, how do I connect with this little thing that's there? I know it's my child, but there's nothing happening. Then suddenly one day it strikes you. There's a point in time, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe 7, depends on each one. The child will look at you and he'll start owning you. I think that's the most perfect thing. God's gift that a little child, he thinks he owns you and you're ready to give everything to that person.
But that's so wonderfully put. Why I was actually so happy also to have you on this particular episode is because generally when we talk about the first few years or the first year, we talk to mom. So it's so lovely to hear also the perspective of a dad.
I have a newfound respect for moms because for first few months you're a spectator, right? There's nothing much you can do. I try holding the little child and keeps crying. So I have to get back to Genelia, and it stops crying. I said, okay, you wait for 6 more months and then I'm going to take over. I just want to tell all the husbands out there and all the new fathers that it's very important to be with your wives for little things because pregnancy as a process is not easy on them. And I just feel that as husband, you need to be there as a support system.
Emotional
a support system, It could just be being there and doing nothing is fine, but do not be there.
Absolutely, I agree. So how hands-on are you? I know you've been amazing emotional support and all, but those actual dirty diapers and all, have you done the changing and stuff?
Yeah, of course. The first time I remember I was changing Rian's diaper. There's a whole system, right? You put the baby, take the cotton, dip in the water, wipe it and throw it. Simple.
Yeah.
So I took the cotton, dipped in the water, wiped it, and put it back in the water. So I'm like, oh no, it's all gone wrong.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Like Rupa didn't usually come home early, but when the babies were little, he used to make a point to come home early. So some neighbors came in, so he wanted to show them, you know. So he went to do it around, and I promise you, I promise you, Zen like peed right into his face. It was hilarious. Literally peed.
Yeah, so I was changing, he started peeing. Now I'm catching it, I'm trying to figure out what do I do with this because it's going right on the flooring.
Yeah, but this is what's so amazing.
So suddenly baby poo and baby pee it's fine, it's like perfume, it doesn't really matter.
Now you guys, of course, are one of 3 brothers. And I remember you saying way back how much respect you have for your parents and how amazingly they brought the 3 of you up.
My dad never yelled.
Yeah.
He never raised his voice. My mom has never touched us, like not even this or whatever. But when she used to
get angry.
No, she used to just, just widen eyes and we used to be like, okay, you're fine. But I think there should be a certain, fear is a very strong word, but they should be aware that they are being corrected.
Absolutely. And I have to say hats off to your mom because I know how hands-on she is also as a grandmother.
There's a difference of love in each and everybody in relationship. Like father will love differently, a mother will love differently. Grandmother's love is incomparable. So how strict they were as mothers, they're not as grandmothers. So I'm like, you didn't let us do. He says, that's your job. That's not my job.
I know. My mom says the same. Now moving away from us and because the show is now more of a platform to try and help bring about positive change. Is there anything that you feel strongly about at a more macro level?
I just feel that, make time for each other.
Yeah.
As families. And I'm only sticking to this because we live in times where we don't have time.
Yeah.
We are so pressed for time. And then you start compromising the one thing, and that's home.
Family, yeah.
So you say, no, it's okay, she'll understand. But relationships survive on love. In the business that we are in, films, sometimes the releases happen at a particular time and there's a period you need to release a movie. So that probably doesn't coincide with, your delivery and whatever. But yes, with both the deliveries, I made sure that I wasn't shooting.
And not away.
Yeah. So I was there and posted it for at least 15-20 days. I took off.
Yeah.
And I was home. So it's very important to pause. Take a pause.
Yeah.
Move away. Rejuvenate. And come back. It might come a bit late in life to realize, but it's never too late.
So, Riteish, is there anything you'd like to say to our viewers and to all of us, just as any final words of wisdom from a great dad?
More than word of wisdom, I think, Tara, you've been doing such an extraordinary show for us so long. And,
Thank you.
We get advice from few people. But you have created a platform successfully for such a long time that people watch your show to know things. And I think you have really helped India to become better parents. And congratulations.
Thank you. That's very, very sweet. I'm very touched. And honestly, as I always say, I'm no expert. I make a gazillion mistakes. But the reason for this was just so people can share. And I think everyone has
I just feel that
wisdom.
Even if we share our mistakes, there's a lot to learn.
Absolutely. So on that note, thank you so much, Riteish.
Thank you.
And I promise you, I will not be hounding you for a while. And I'll make you run around the racecourse and see if you can actually win this time. That's another internal joke.
Yeah, I went running with Tara once to racecourse. My God, after a few meters, I decided let her run, I'll walk.
On that note, bye-bye.
Coming up, an interesting chat with 3 moms who talk about their early years of parenting.
Be a unique mom to your unique kid.
Yeah.
Take advice gracefully and do what you feel is right for your baby because you know your baby the most.
And a peek into Rupak and my journey of becoming parents for the second time.
Hi, this is Kai, 3 days old. And here's Zen, big
Yes,
brother
hello.
Zen, being very loving with baby Kai. The first few years after the babies are born are filled with so much joy and lots of adventures. So we thought it would be interesting to meet a few wonderful mums and hear about their first few years. So let's start at the very beginning. Abreka, when you were pregnant, Did you read up a lot, or did you do a lot of preparation, or did you have lots of people giving you advice before you actually delivered?
I was very much excited for the new things coming in my life. You know, my baby was bringing a lot of happiness already.
Yeah.
And while raising my 2 children, I have my own share of superstitions ranging from funny ones to the serious ones. Like call them from different names so that they stay away from any bad power or evil power. And when my younger one got his first tooth when he was just 3 months old, and now there was a set of people who was telling me that now we should stop this natural growth because it means that there's something related to the previous birth.
Really?
But I read through internet, I read through books, I consulted my doctor, and I realized that it is a natural phenomena, and anything which is growing naturally should not be tampered unless it is harming.
That's very interesting, because sometimes some of these things, even though you know practically that you shouldn't believe them, it can play on your mind, right? So that's a very practical way of dealing with it. Now coming to you, Aloka, you of course are really into a lot of natural things, right from home birthing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this whole natural approach.
First years of both my kids were very different.
Okay.
When I had my first son, though I was already writing like a natural, nutritional, evolutionary blog, I still put myself totally in the doctor's hands and, did things just the, conventional way.
Right.
And then after he was born, I just felt like somebody like me who's read so much, knows so much, trusts in my body so much. Why am I just, becoming a patient when it comes to something so natural as giving birth? So I just decided to do it at home in water with midwives, and it was just a very empowering, beautiful experience.
Really? So at home in water. So how did your family react to this decision? Were they supportive?
I didn't tell anyone because there's a lot of fear around birth, and I didn't want to have any, negative thoughts around it, because I knew people would just be like, what are you doing? You're crazy.
Honestly, I really do believe each to their own. I personally had my kids born in a hospital with the doctors and all, and for me all went well. But I do see that one has to be able to do what they want to do and what works for them as a family. So Neha, coming to you with twins, I find life is very hectic with 2 boys who are less than 2 years apart, but twins is a different story. So how were those first few years with twins?
Initial first 2 years with twins is always, a little harder or difficult. But after that, it's fun. It's double fun. And in fact, my husband has been a great support. I always call him as a second mommy to my twins. And we are 2 mommies taking care of 2 babies. So I would say that's a wonderful support system I always had with twins. And that's why I feel more blessed to have 2 boys at one go.
Yeah, no, and I think that's for everyone. So Aloka, tell us a little bit about being a lactation counselor.
When I had my first baby, still I had so many questions, so many doubts, that I really felt that I really wanted to help new mums at this really crucial and difficult time. Because if you want to have a breastfeeding relationship with your baby, that support initially is invaluable, and then you can just become a pro at it and go on. Now I'm very happy helping mothers before and after they've had a baby, being there for them, telling them they're doing a great job. I think that's all mothers need initially.
That's really great. Now, coming to you, Neha, I think as a, the head of a community of mums, you must be hearing lots of interesting stories. So how does it work? Because it's a big responsibility in a way when there's a huge community that's perhaps looking at you for some guidance.
So basically every family is different, every child is different, every mother is different.
Yeah.
So again, it's an individual decision. What we give them as advice as a community head or expert panel, we always tell them to do what they feel is right. Be a unique mom to your unique kid.
Yeah.
Take advice gracefully, accept it, say thank you, and do what you feel is right for your baby, because you know your baby the most.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, I think that's, I think that's great advice, because otherwise it's just so much information that it's difficult to know what to filter out. One thing also that I must say, things can be difficult, but you can also have the best time, ever. Yeah. So holidays, for example, people used to say, take your trips now, after the babies come, that's it. And it's nonsense, right? You have to, if you enjoy every phase of life, you enjoy it. For me, say like the shoots here at the Taj, Land's End, my kids, the biggest treat for them, because they love coming to the Taj, is to come at the end of the shoot, have a tub bath, eat dinner, and that's their little staycation for a little holiday.
And that's the way you gel your work with pleasure, rather than complaining or cribbing about what your schedule is, try to fit in. I always say, we women are engineered very beautifully. I feel if we don't stretch, we rust.
So, on a closing note, is there anything you'd like to say to other mums out there who may be in those first few years or maybe about to deliver or just reminiscing and wanting to have another? Any tips?
There's a lot of fear in the baby's first few days. I've heard people saying, don't hold the baby all the time. But I would just say that enjoy being with them, holding them close, let them be near you and close to you.
That's lovely to hear. Abreka, anything you'd like to say?
Whatever you're doing for your child, before experimenting or implementing any home remedy or anything, just be well informed, be well aware of what you are doing, because ultimately you are accountable for your child. Nothing can guarantee happiness, and happiness is within. So with this, I would just like to wish everyone a very happy parenting.
And Neha,
Admit your failures, but ask for help. Go out to your community. Try to meet mothers like you all. So that will give you a lot of positive parenting tips. What I do for myself is I try to be a better parent tomorrow than what I am today. Because whatever bad or good I'm doing today, tomorrow I'll try to improve on it.
that's lovely. And I think, you all touched upon the honest truth that we all make mistakes as well. So I hope this has helped some of you out there, or at least maybe got you nostalgic or maybe entertained you. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us here.
When you're bringing the next baby into the world, the excitements, anxieties and joys are somewhat different. We remember being quite nervous to see how Zen would react to Kai's arrival, and we were thrilled to see how lovingly he welcomed his little brother. Going into the delivery room. Baby Kai was born today. He's not even a day old. He's 9 hours old. Zen, touchwood, seems to be quite happy with the whole thing. Of course, we've given him lots of presents that we say Kai has given him. One of his presents from his brother Kai is a doctor set. Zen, what's this? Doctor. Hi, this is Kai, 3 days old. And here's Zen. Big brother Zen, being very loving with baby Kai.
Coming up, an informative discussion with Dr. Mahesh Balsekar about the first few years after a baby is born.
Just like there is growth and development of a child, there is growth and development of a parent.
And a wonderful surprise awaits a full-time working mum of 2, courtesy Pepperfry.
This is outstanding, beautiful.
Looking back, I can't believe I let Rupak shoot when I was actually about to deliver and soon after. I was very lucky to be back up and about in my jeans and walking around literally a few hours after they were born. Of course, as always, I say each to their own. Not everyone wants to, has to, or has the same experience. And it really doesn't matter if you put on weight or don't put on weight, as long as you're happy, wonderful, and healthy. And I have to say I'm grateful to my genes, perhaps high metabolism and consistent exercise, and of course the wonderful team of doctors and our family that helped me get through it all.
Dr. Mahesh Balsekar is our children's pediatrician, and he's been an important part of Rupak and my journey of becoming parents. On his book launch, he and an esteemed panel of doctors talked about the first few years after a baby is born.
Parenting is one of the most exciting journeys for young couples and young parents. And the first 2 years are the most dramatic. What you find is that they don't trust their parents or in-laws anymore. And grandparents are in fact intimidated to even give advice, because whatever advice a grandparent gives is quickly trashed by Dr. Google. So now the style of practice has also changed. But now when mothers and parents come to us, they are equally informed. So this stage of parenting or medical practice is called the interpretive stage of practice. This means that we don't need to give information for parents anymore, because they have access to all the information in the world. But we have to help them interpret information in an appropriate manner so that they can do what is best for their baby.
So any questions?
Doctor, as a first-time mother, I wanted to know if there's a usual age when a child reaches that a mother just kind of calms down and stops sending you psychotic messages in the middle of the night.
Just like there is growth and development of a child, there is growth and development of a parent. And I wish all parents would look at their children the way the grandparents look, in a more relaxed, easy and confident manner.
It is a natural instinct of the mother to make sure that the baby is protected and no mistake done which would harm the baby in the future. And it is very normal, but it should not become a sort of a phobia. As long as that is in the back of your mind, it is fine.
Dr. Balsekar, will you talk about your foundation, what it involves?
That's my mom. I thought she was going to complain about me and how I don't listen to her.
I've started this trust and foundation called Healing Touch. The mandate of this trust is to get large amounts of funds and only help children with critical illnesses where there are major costs and major impacts to a child's life. So I think the tragedy of the situation, I think it's a very sad thing to see your children suffer. But it's a greater tragedy when parents can't afford appropriate treatment. So I think there has to be a community awareness that for relatively small amounts of money, a lot of lives are lost. So this is an effort, and this year this is going to be my project. And I hope all of you can be a part of it, and it'll be very easy to help a large number of families with children who are suffering from major illnesses.
On today's Pow Wow, we had a full-time working mom who later talked to me about how she'd love to do up her children's room but hasn't had much time to. I mentioned this to Pepperfry, and they very generously offered to give her some furniture from the mollycoddle range of Pepperfry for her children's room. It's a surprise for our breaker, so let's see what she and her kids think. Hi, welcome.
What a surprise.
Do you like it?
The day couldn't be better than this. This is outstanding, beautiful.
Daksh, you like it? Huh? Oh. This is a cot.
Sure, okay.
You want to go in the cot? And then this is a changing station with a cabinet.
With growing children, you have a lot of things growing along. So I think this is beautifully designed and it's going to be really useful.
You like these chairs?
Now sit.
And there's a chair for you also, so you can sit and relax while they're playing.
Yeah.
So I hope you like the room.
Very much. This is very sophisticated, very space-friendly and very beautifully conceptualized in terms of space, in terms of design. And it's very safe for children because there are no sharp edges. Especially this cot, my younger one is very excited to see because they always wanted an enclosure, a room within a room kind of thing.
Safe.
So it feels very safe and it's beautifully designed.
I'm so glad that you like it.
Thank you so much, Tara.
Thank you,
Pepperfry. Thank you, team.
Those first few years are really special, just as everything is. It also made me realize that no one's perfect, and yet, in our own ways, we're all perfect for our own kids. I think often it's these imperfections that make parenting such fun. I sometimes joke with Rupak and say, come on, let's have a third. And he laughs and says, this shop is shut. So we've gone and got ourselves a third little baby, and she's a girl called Tia, our puppy. On that note, do write in to me on our social media handles, and for latest updates, please log on to our website. Till we meet again, bye-bye.
Next week on our season finale, we're talking about helping bring about positive change.
Be kind and compassionate. And we met a fantastic superstar actor, amazing Amir Khan, and his wife, the amazing Kiran Rao.
Everybody has a voice.
Everybody
you don't
has
have to
a
be a
voice.
celebrity
That's
to
true.
have a voice. I think each one of us can contribute in our own way, and you can bring about a small change also in somebody else's life. That will be a great thing.